Hi, I'm Cam. I play for the Philippine women's national football team. I've been playing since I was 14 for the youth national team and eventually made it to the senior team. Um, I am a proud working athlete and I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Mitch and Shalika, for having me.
So the videos that I've been sent um, have been the ones where the Philippines played Malaysia, which was 3-0, and the one game against Timor-Leste that was 7-0. If I'm not mistaken, you actually scored 2 goals in both games. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
So what I'd actually like to jump right into is more upon the topics of actually handling situations during games, what your thought processes are, and just both skill-wise and mentality to begin with. Um, so specifically as a winger and before that a striker, uh, with those goals that you had, I mean, you're the one that scored them, so I'd hope that you'd remember them. Um,
It was a year
if
ago, though.
we,
I'm just
sorry,
kidding.
if
It's
we,
been so long. I was playing football.
um, the ones that came within that Malaysia game were heavily down to your pursuing of the ball at times where it either came off the crossbar and you're running into the box to finish it past your defender, or fumbling the ball from the goalkeeper to then anticipate that and take that shot to tap the ball in. So in my mind, when you're dealing with those situations of your teammates having either crossed the ball or shot it, how do you handle those moments when either you're running with the ball or without the ball to having to anticipate whether it's being dropped or not?
Okay. I think it's important to note, like when we look at the game and like the performance or my goals in particular or my teammates' goals, they really most of it comes from the training before, right? So I think we both know, Shalika here, also very much familiar that the game, the 90 minutes that we play, it's really just like that's the performance. But prior to the performance, there are like weeks, months, um, and days wherein you just focus on different aspects. So those two specific goals that I scored versus Malaysia weren't were in a way like muscle memory, just because hold on,
That's right.
guys, you want to say hi to my dad?
For sure, for sure.
They
Number
just
one
barged
supporter.
in. Wait lang. Yeah. Okay. I'll take that back from the start. Hold on. Okay. So I was saying, when we look at the game, it's really more of the performance, and the two goals that I scored with Malaysia in the Malaysia game were really just an offshoot of all the trainings that we have. And I think it's important to really start. You know, it's very important that the attitude you bring, or the skills that you show during training, you have to continuously practice that, because eventually, like, the goal really is for it to be like muscle memory and it to show up in the game, which thankfully, with the opportunity given to me, it did, right? And interestingly, my first goal, which came off a crossbar, and I guess also in the second one where I anticipated the fumble of the keeper, uh, I got the insight of rebound and just finishing it from my coach, from my college coach, who really made a big impact on my football career, because um, he was very keen on that, like the rebound mentality, like you don't stop until the ball is inside the net, which was what happened, right? And
Right.
I think I would always give it back to the team, because I wouldn't have that opportunity if they didn't, put the ball in that specific place. But
Mhm.
I think it's important for athletes, especially football players, that there are 90 minutes in the game, but each minute you have to always be like turn on. You have to always be on. Like imagine if in that moment I was maybe just look at how beautiful the sky was, or appreciating my teammates cross. I was like, wow, it's so nice. I wouldn't have gotten those goals, right?
Yeah.
So my coaches, like the insights and the small feedbacks that I got from my coaches, like from them to us, was really one to always turn on, diba? 90 minutes, unavoidable that your mind will daze, but it's really like the discipline of reeling those thoughts back in and becoming present in the moment, right?
Hmm.
So turning, like being switching on, and at the same time just, I guess, just really practice, bring the attitude or the performance that you want in the game by starting it with practice. And practice every training, it has to be intentional,
For
because
sure.
the goal is for it to be unintentional, right? For it to be something more of like a more natural movement or natural result.